Hi. Hello. Hi, this is Dr. Deborah Roebuck. Now, I am laughing, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I almost didn't get on today. So I am so thankful that I am able to present to you day 3 of our upcoming boot camp. Again, it is exciting. Let me say to you, we've had 3 days. Our first day, we talked about decluttering, getting unstuck. The next day, we talked about sorting out our rooms. Really, it's about sorting out the rooms of our lives. Let's talk about it for a second. We're talking about your mind. And I'll tell you, on the first day when we're talking about decluttering and what have you, we really were talking about our mindset. How do we think about ourselves? What can we do? What shouldn't we do? And one of the things we really focus on is I should, I should, I should. Well, I want to say to you, I've gotten some wonderful responses from people concerning that. So now let's talk about our third day. Give your temple a fresh look. Now, spring is coming, and well, really, spring is here. Summer is coming. And I was thinking a lot about women experiencing menopausal like symptoms and being able to really go through this period with confidence, with ease, with grace. Let me say that, with confidence, ease, and grace. So I thought it would be wonderful to put together what we would call a spring self care kit. Now, we got all these seasons, and sometimes we are using the same thing we use in the wintertime to deal with issues of menopause, postmenopause. But now we're looking at a different type of environment. Now, for example, many of you want to get ready to go out gardening, okay? But when we go out gardening, we're out in that sun. We need to put a hat on, okay? Or we're going out with our kids or our grandchildren or our nieces and nephews. For me, today, I went out and I walked my dog. I've talked to y'all a little bit about my dog. That's Chestnut, who rips and runs. And here I am, I'm trying to decide, okay, I'm going out, what is the temperature and what have you. But I realize when it gets very hot, I got to think about what type of clothing I should put on. That's part of your self care kit. Also, one of the areas I really wanted to talk about today is traveling. Now, right now, so many of us are really considering going on trips, going on vacations. For example, the other year I went to California. And one of the issues I really wasn't cognizant of in traveling is I was so busy running, ripping and running, that I forgot to go to the bathroom. Now, when you're menopausal, those muscles are not as strong as they used to be. When you cough, when you laugh, all of a sudden you have a little accident. But consider the fact that here I am on the plane. I had forgot to go to the bathroom. And now they said, fasten your seatbelts. And here they're going down the runway. And I'm going back and forth. And I'm like, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go. So when we finally got up in the air, I told the stewardess, I got to go. She said, okay, go ahead. I almost literally ran down the aisle. And when I ran down the aisle, I went into the bathroom. and I started to use the bathroom. Girls, let me tell you, I forgot to look to see that they had closed the lid on the toilet. It was a mess. It was a hot mess. There was stuff all on the floor and everything, and I was so embarrassed. I had to open the door. One of the stewards came by. I pulled on his shirt. I know he thought somebody had lost their mind. And I told him, I said, listen, I had an accident. I need for you to get me some trash bags. I had pulled all the toilet paper, all the paper towels out. I was down there trying to clean the place up. And I made the decision, okay, especially when we're doing this traveling, when we are in this different climate, I have to think about in my mind, what issues do I need to deal with to make sure I have my kit? Now, say for example, when we're traveling in our car, in the back of the car, we make sure in the wintertime we have a blanket, we have salt, we always make sure we have water because we never know what's going to happen. Well, I am encouraging you to do the same type of thing when you go from season to season to season. Identify what your issue is. And from there, make a determination of, okay, this is going to be my kit. So I'm going to tell you straight up. I put together a little kit for today. Hold on. This is my dollar store. My dollar store special. Okay. Now, at least 70% of women who are in the not premenopause, but perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause are experiencing hot flashes. Yes. And so a lot of times we don't even think about how we're putting on our clothes. Now think about it. All of a sudden, your cardiovascular system, you have contractions of the blood vessels, and all of a sudden, all this heat, flash of heat. And then once that happens, all of a sudden you start getting cold. Well, it is a matter of how you dress. Let's think about it. As much as you can, try to put on natural outfits, natural clothes. As much as you can, try to layer what you have on so that you can easily be able to put on or take off. Okay? And I talked to one lady, I was in a hairdresser, and she was saying, girl, I get so upset because when I go to church and then, okay, they might have the air conditioner on, but then I get the hot flashes and people start to look at me and I get embarrassed, and I said, sweetheart, you need to put together your kit. So let me show you one of the things. Now, talking about the lady in church. Okay, can you see? This is a fan. Now, I know a lot of times if we're in a public place and we're starting to, sweat and perspire, one of my things, your safety things that you have in your pocketbook, especially if you're in church, because, they have those fans kind of things in church. Get yourself a beautiful fan. You hear me? A lot of times when I'm working with the ladies, I'll send them in the mail beautiful fans, and just be elegant in how you are fanning yourself. Okay? And people will be saying, oh, sister so-and-so, where you get that beautiful fan? And you just look so elegant in what you do. Fan. Now that is a manual fan. So the other thing I found, this is one of the fans. I got this off of Amazon. You see how? Ooh. Okay. All right. Cool yourself off. All right. That's another thing you can have. You can have this. You see how it's shaped? You can have this in your pocketbook. Then for us who are going walking and we're starting to get hot, see this? This is the kind you can put over your head, and the air is coming up through these vents. So when you're walking, you can be cool going the whole way. You see, self care kits for menopause. Now, also, I thought to myself, okay, you got the issue with the perspiring and what have you. You want to make yourself look cute. I got this from, you know how you go to TJ Maxx and whatever. You can get some of these facial wipes. Get something that works for you, something that doesn't cause an allergic reaction or anything like that. But you can easily cool yourself off. Also, what I've gotten at the dollar store is they have these kind of masses. It look like gel is in them. I get one of those, stick them in the refrigerator, and if I'm going out, I'll get me a little plastic bag and I'll put that in plastic bag and almost have that as my emergency in case I really need to get cooled off. Let's see what else I have in here. Oh, I found this. Another dollar store thing. Sometimes when I'm running and doing whatever, I need something to massage the area. Okay. And so I use one of these types of things. Now, we've been talking about physical, but I also want you to know you need a self care type of strategy, whether it's your mind. And I tell you, for your mind, I want you to constantly think going through the spring, I am wonderfully and beautifully made. Okay. Don't go negative. Don't go sabotaging. Don't replace that. Remember, we talked about the 4 steps of replacing. Identify what we say. Next thing, change that language. Next thing, develop a strategy of who, what, and when. And the last thing, develop a way of how you're going to incorporate that new way, that new habit into your either daily habits, your weekly habits, your nightly habits. Now, I want to jump back for a minute. When it's summertime, the other thing people think about and really concerned about is not only hot sweats, but night sweats. Hot flashes or night sweats. Let me say to you again and again, if you know there's certain things that you do to aggravate you to the point that you're having hot flashes, chocolate, sweets, caffeine, okay, you're going to have to think to yourself, okay, it's summer. I'm really experiencing these hot flashes. Let me figure a way to, if I got to have some of these things, make it at least 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed. Another thing is, how do you make your room comfortable? Some of us have central air. Some of us has fans in our room. But anyway, whatever you do, try to make your sleeping environment so that it's comfortable. My first recommendation is make sure your sheets is natural fibers. Instead of it sticking on you, get nice high count, nice cotton types of sheets to sleep on. And some of you say, but girl, haven't you seen how much that costs? And I said, girl, aren't you worth it? Think about it. Get some good quality sheets so that it's natural fibers, even what you wear at night. Start getting your nightgowns and what have you that has nice breathable. This is like a cotton knit I have on so it can breathe. I know you want to be cute, and if you want to get silk, but natural fibers for you to sleep in. I tell you, there's a whole lot of things we can talk about as far as getting ready and having our kit together. But see, my thing is this weekend, starting Friday, I'm going to be having a boot camp. So I want each person to, when I do the boot camps, develop a plan, a strategy that is just for them. And at the same time, we're talking back and forth, so I'll help them develop it. But one thing I wanted to share with you is this past weekend, I went to an event with young ladies, and one of the young ladies there said you can make your own tea blend, and with each of the teas that I remember seeing her paper here, and I'll tell you, she was just absolutely wonderful as ginger tea, Gyne, no GYNGERTEA.com. And she talked about looking at the different areas that you want to achieve, like say for example, better digestion. She recommends ginger root, or there's various inflammation or what have you. And so one of the things I decided after hearing this type of information, I said, well, I'm going to develop a tea, and I'm going to be working with her specifically. Her name is Felicia. I'm going to work with her specifically in developing a tea that works for me. So while we were there, I put together something I call Menopause tea. All those different signs and symptoms I was having, I put it all together. And from there, I'm telling you, I got some relief. So that's another thing. You never think about, okay, what's my kid? Okay, I in the summer I wound up drinking all these sodas or whatever, whatever. Water's important, but also there are different types of teas you could put together to help relieve signs and symptoms. I'm gonna tell you what I did. I have here my teapot. Oh, is that now? This is my spring teapot. You see the birds and the trees and everything. And then, because I'm special, okay, aren't you special? I know you're special. So if you want to make something special for you, a tea or whatever, get something special just for you. And then I even pulled together a teacup. Can you see it? Woo! I know it's kind of crazy there, but I decided that I have all these teacups in my closet. What am I keeping them there for? So I decided what one of my strategies, one of my self-care going forward in the spring and summer, I'm going to make teas. I'm going to make it so that they'll be cold teas, but I'm going to make them, put them in the refrigerator. And if I want to, instead of using just any old kind of glass, I'm going to get a special teacup. Because the way I think about myself, I'm valued. I paid for these cups, and why aren't I using it? Sometimes that's how we are as women. Sometimes we've put investment in different things, but we forget to use them on ourselves. I want to challenge you today. Think of one thing that you can do that will be a part of your spring menopause self-care kit just for you. Something that you value, something that makes you feel good. And I want to encourage you. We've got one more day. Wednesday's the last day to register for the boot camp. I'll put the information below so you can lock on to it. Come on in. Love to see you. Love to meet you. But as always, I think you are wonderful. You're fabulous. You have passion. You have purpose. And you are of great value, not only to your community of and also the people in your family, but you're of value to yourself. Remember that, okay? I'm going to say goodbye now, and I hope to see you Friday and Saturday at the spring boot camp. Bye bye.